Bangladesh warns it cannot mobilise more resources for the 1.3 million Rohingya refugees in the country. Chief Adviser Muhammad Yunus says the crisis is a global responsibility, urging the international community to step up with a sustainable solution. He stresses Dhaka cannot shoulder the weight alone. Mr. Yunus, marking 8 years since the mass Rohingya exodus from Myanmar, laid out 7 action points to resolve the crisis, including a practical roadmap for the safe return of Rohingya refugees to their homes. Bangladesh's interim leader stresses that while his country is working relentlessly, the crisis originated in Myanmar, and the solution must also come from there.
Umbilical relationship of Rohingyas with their homeland cannot be severed. So their right to return to their own home and homeland has to be secured.
Rohingya refugees also marked their exodus with mass protests across Cox's Bazar. Tens of thousands joined the demonstration in the world's largest refugee settlement, demanding their safe return and equal rights. For them, today is Rohingya Genocide Remembrance Day. So the crisis began in August 2017. A brutal military crackdown in Myanmar's Rakhine state forced more than 700,000 Rohingya to flee to Bangladesh within days. The United Nations called it a textbook example of ethnic cleansing. Now, those 700,000 joined more than 300,000 already in Bangladesh who had fled earlier waves of violence in Myanmar. Today, 1.3 million Rohingya live in Bangladesh camps, half of them children, and they've been trying to survive in overcrowded shelters despite dwindling aid, closed schools and worsening conditions. ASEAN, under Malaysia's chairmanship, is spearheading a multi-nation initiative to address the crisis. It builds on the 5-point consensus framework and aims to combine humanitarian aid with high-level diplomacy. But enforcement and accountability remain serious challenges. The United Nations and more than 100 partners are working on a joint response plan that will carry through to next year, seeking nearly $500 million to support refugees. But with the Trump administration cutting global aid, funding cuts have forced services in the camps to shrink. Rights groups warn that only stronger international action can address the root causes in Myanmar. The next major test will be a high-level UN conference in New York next month, aimed at keeping the Rohingya crisis alive on the global agenda.